Hey, it's Jordan. Up until now, you've learned about different views and how to set them up. Today, we'll go over view types, which you can use to display your records in the most efficient way for the work you're doing. Let's take a quick look at the different view types and then discuss each one in depth. At the top left of any view, you'll find the list, board, and card options. These are the different view types which you can use. By clicking on one, you'll switch the records so they're displayed according to the selected view type. Right now, we're looking at a list view, which is the view type we've used in our previous lessons. If we click on the board option, we'll see our records instead displayed on a board and segmented by type. The last option is the card view, which we can use to show a list of records on the left and an individual records page on the right. You can use these options to choose the relevant display method for your view at any time and easily switch back and forth between them. Let's get back to our list view for a moment, which we've worked with until now. The list view uses columns and rows to display a set of records as a list within a table, and is ideal when you'd like to look over a large list of records at once. All the view settings we've learned until now have related to the list view, such as sorting, columns, and filters. Some of the options discussed only exist within the list view, like quick edit for fields or temporary sorting. However, many of the settings will apply to your view no matter which type is selected. Let's learn about the different view types and how to set them up. If we move to our board view, all our account records will now be segmented into columns. The board view we're currently looking at takes the records in the All Accounts view and segments them based on their status. You can see the different status options at the top of the columns, such as the lead status, qualification status, and so on. Each of the cards displayed under the column names represents a specific account, such as Denny Davis or Alex Bright. By dragging and dropping an account's card to a new column, you can progress them to a different status. For example, we can move Jackie Sanders to the proposal column to update your status to proposal. You can also easily check how many accounts are in each status by looking at the number under each column name. In this view, there are 12 lead accounts, 7 proposal accounts, and so on. You may have noticed that each card displays 3 of the accounts fields. The fields displayed here are based on the first 3 columns set in the list or card view settings. For example, if you'd like to display the account owner field on each card instead of the account type, you can easily do this. First, go to the list view and then click the columns option. Now drag the account owner field to the 3rd slot in the list. If we go back to our board view, we'll see that the account owner is now displayed on each account's card. As I mentioned earlier, this board view is segmented based on the status field. You can choose to segment board views based on any pick list or lookup field. For example, you can instead segment all the accounts by their account owner. To do so, click the Columns option to open the board view settings. Here you can use the Group By option to select any pick list or lookup field in the object your view belongs to. For example, right now this option is set to Status. On the right, you'll see the status options, which are used as columns in our board, and on the left you'll see the options which were not included. The Line option can be used if you'd like a column for records where no status is selected. Let's set up our new board view. First, select the Account Owner option in the Group By option. The options list on the left will now display all the system users, which are the records the Account Owner field relates to. You can now click on Account Owners to set them as columns for your board view. Order your new columns by dragging and dropping them, or click the X to remove columns you've added. You may have noticed the Summarize By option on the top. Here you can select fields with number values. Each column will then summarize the total amount of this field for all the records within it. Let's select the Open Tasks field here, which summarizes the total amount of open tasks each account has. In this way, we'll know the total amount of open account tasks for each account owner. We can now click Save to replace our old board view settings with the new ones we just set. Our board view now provides us with a visual of how many accounts each account owner has, and even how many tasks they have opened within their assigned accounts. You can move accounts around to create an even divide of work. For example, we can notice that Bob has a large amount of accounts and move one of his leads to a different representative. In this way, you can use board view to easily segment and visualize any view. The last view type we'll go over is card view, which lets you look at both list view and record pages at the same time. On the left, you'll find a list of all the records in your view, while on the right, you'll see one individual records page. You can use the records page as usual to update fields, create stream activities, and more. By clicking on one of the account cards from the list on the left, you'll view their individual page. In this way, you can easily look over many record pages at once. The fields displayed in each records card are based on the first 4 fields in the columns list. You can easily switch them by changing their order or value using the column settings. Changing the column, sort, or filter settings here will change them for all the different view types. For example, if we choose to sort the accounts by name in descending order, they will now appear in descending order here in the board view and in the list view. You can also use the search option within any of the view types, and your results will appear within the selected type. Let's select the card view and search for Alex. As you can see, our results will appear in the card view, which is very useful if you'd like to go through the pages of each record you searched for. By using the different view types and settings, you can customize the system depending on the work you're doing in order to optimize your workflow.